Brea, thank you for joining me on GV Talks.
Thank you for having me.
What's been going on?
Just living my best. Happy Saturday. Just chilling.
You always seem to be in a positive mood.
Thanks. I try. It's not every day that I'm super positive, but I'm a firm believer in the energy, you put out is what you'll get back. So if you can walk around and have a smile on your face and spread that positivity, it makes the world a better place. So yeah, just try to be happy.
Is there anything you implement to get yourself into that mind frame?
Look, some days are definitely harder than others, but just taking a little bit of extra time in my day to get up and just make some time for myself. So generally I finish work really late, so I don't have that after work time to myself, where a lot of people do when they finish at 3 or 5 o'clock. So I find myself getting up quite early, 4:30 or 5 a.m. But since I've been doing that, I've got more time for myself, and I can look after myself, and just implement a few things that really bring out the best in who I am. So, yeah.
How many hours sleep do you get?
I try to get 8. Sometimes it's 6, but anywhere from 6 to 8 hours I get. So
Yeah. Do you ever oversleep?
Sometimes.
I feel like most people recommend 8 hours, but I feel like from my anecdotal experience and my personal experience, 7 hours is perfect for me.
Okay.
When I get around that 8 hour mark, I kind of wake up a bit sluggish.
Yeah.
Which I find very interesting.
It is. I don't know, everyone's really different and you have to listen to your body and just sort of find what works right for you. So even though, 6 or 7 isn't ideal, I'm the same. Like if I have 6 hours sleep, I'm pretty fine. But if I have 8 or 9, I do tend to feel a bit sluggish as well. So, yeah.
Before we get too deep into it, do you want to let the Shepparton people know who they're listening to?
Yeah, so I'm Brea Dorsett. I'm 21 years old and I'm a Mooroopna and Shepparton local, born and bred. I've lived here mostly my whole life. There was a year I spent away in Geelong, but I've come back now. I manage a gym and I co-manage another gym not too far from here as well. I've got a few little projects and small businesses that I'm working on. But I'm pretty much just a young girl in a community trying to spread my message, which is there is so much more to who we are than just how we look. And health and fitness isn't just going to the gym, it's how you feel and how you, look after yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, great. How was your upbringing in Shepparton?
A little bit rocky. So I'm an only child, which is great because I'm really close with my mum and dad, and I still am to this day, and I do have a good relationship with them. But I did sort of clash with them. There was a little bit of time in my life where home wasn't super functional and not ideal, and from that I actually ended up moving out, and I was still really young. I am really lucky in the sense that I never slept rough. I always had a safe and secure place to go. But for too much sort of couch surfing and depending on other people and their roofs over my head and thinking, where am I going to stay tonight, and jumping house to house, that really put a strain on my mental well-being. And in that time as well, I was in year 12 VCE, so it was just a really stressful time in my life. That's sort of my upbringing. I ended up moving to the Education First Youth Foyer, which a lot of people in the area don't know much about. So I'm so grateful that I actually got to live there and I can share my experience and help raise awareness, because the work they do is unreal, and I really think I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be who I am, without the support they gave me. So basically, across the road from TAFE in Shepparton, there's an apartment complex called the Education First Youth Foyer, and they've got 40 apartments in there for students who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. So they basically keep them from sleeping rough, keep them engaged in education, and give them 4 walls that they can call home and feel safe. And they do a lot of work with them, with workshops to do with, your mental well-being, just giving you life skills. You do a compulsory certificate, which is your certificate in developing independence. So you just learn, basic skills like budgeting, looking after yourself, cleaning, heaps of things. So it really sets people up so that set students up so they stay in education and they can be independent and look after themselves.
In hindsight, how does it make you feel that we have services like that available?
So lucky. I remember like my mum visited me and she was just blown away by the facility and what support I was receiving, and she was just like, wow, like imagine if this was around like when she was growing up, the community would be such a different place. And I think it's definitely a step in the right direction, to having these kids be contributing members to society and just making it a better place.
Yeah, it's awesome. When you were in year 12, like where was your head at in terms of career and stuff like that? Who were you planning on becoming?
Yeah, so I have always been active and I love sports, and PE in school was like the best. I was like one of those kids, that thinks PE is like the Olympics. Like I was one of those like go hard or go home people. So I was like age group champion for athletics like almost every year, and I don't know, like my life was just sports and health and fitness. And I got more into like PE when you started learning about like fitness components and doing your assessments. So like for instance your flexibility tests and things like that, and I just love the idea of bettering myself and like personal bests and always pushing myself. So I would like train really hard just for PE and stuff, and I just fell in love with it, and I was like, whatever I do, I've got to be in the fitness industry. So I wasn't sure where I wanted to end up. So I'd done some work experience at a few gyms around, and I was like, do I just want to be a personal trainer, or I don't know. So I just wanted to get into, health and fitness. In year 12, my first preference for university was my Bachelor of Health Science. So I was thinking, start off with health and then I could move into, sports and exercise science. And because health science is really broad, I was like, hopefully I'll sort of work out what field or like what specific area I want to be in. So that was kind of my plan, to see how I go. Start off, in the health and fitness industry. Obviously, couch surfing and not having like a functional home life and that kind of thing sort of threw a spanner in the works, and I'm like a really anxious person. So my school basically just said to me, look, you're missing a bit of school. Your home life's a little bit rocky. You're kind of putting yourself under unnecessary pressure to sit your exams. So if you don't want to sit your year 12 exams, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know, it really upset me. I was like, no, like just because I'm going through some things doesn't mean I'm not capable. So I was like, no, I'm sitting my exams, I'm finishing VCE, like I'm not going to just, say it's too hard. I'm going to keep pushing. So I ended up doing my year 12 exams despite everything that was going on, and I got above my Clearly and I got into my Bachelor of Health Science. So that was, really cool. So from then I basically continued living at the Education First Youth Foyer until it was time to start uni, and I moved down to Geelong. And I was super fortunate because all through school I was just working in fast food, and then because of my passion and where I wanted to end up, I ended up getting a job at an all-women's gym, and from then like I haven't taken a step back from the health and fitness industry. So I've just been working in gyms. When I lived in Geelong, it was only for 12 months, and I ended up coming home because, again, my home life wasn't super functional. So I wasn't with my family anymore. I was with a partner, and we'd been together for 5 years. And I guess just being so young, not knowing my self-worth, not having the skills to look after my, just myself and my well-being, like it really made it super hard, especially being in such a serious relationship at so young. And it wasn't ideal, and I kind of just had to sporadically leave and just sort of come back home and rebuild myself. So I deferred uni, so it's there if I want to go back to it. But I really think like when one door closes, another opens. So here I am at 21 managing a gym, and I'm stoked to be able to do that. Like uni's there when I want to go back to it, but I started off, just as a receptionist in a gym, and then doing some more admin and taking on more and more responsibility. And I don't know, you meet so many different people coming into gyms, especially like an all women's gym, and then my background with my upbringing and living at the foyer, like I really could connect with people, and you hear their stories and you just want to help them. So yeah, working in a gym has just been like the best thing.
Do you wish you didn't face those adversities?
I am not going to sit here and say like, oh, I loved it, like it made me who I am, like it was easy, like rebuilding myself has been like the hardest thing I've had to do. But I am glad in a way. I don't appreciate the situation, but I appreciate the growth that came from the situation. And yeah, I wouldn't be who I am without what's happened to me, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has to go out into the world and find out what it's all about. And the world can be pretty cruel.
It can.
So, like, I do think it is essential for you to go out and learn some of these tough lessons.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want to be sheltered completely from those.
No, absolutely not. And then I feel like as well, we all bring something different to the table. For instance, your experiences are so different to mine, and every person who comes into the gym, their experiences are different to mine, and we can all bounce off each other and share our stories and share our growth and our development and help each other out. So I'm actually going back to the foyer to do some mentoring and coaching, because obviously I've been through their program, and the staff at the foyer have seen me be this withdrawn little girl, and I've grown substantially over the last few years. So they think like I'll definitely be an asset, because those kids can relate to me and they can see that they can still make something of themselves just because they've come from a broken home. So I feel like even though I will go back into the foyer and my experience will still be similar but so different to theirs, I can still share, you know, what I've learned, and I'll learn things off what they've learned and that kind of thing. So if I can help someone, I don't know, overcome their issues or prevent themselves from ending up in situations I've ended up in, then why not, kind of thing.
Yeah. You mentioned a little bit earlier you have trouble with anxiety. I don't sense that from you, but I have heard you word it today and multiple other times when we've like caught up.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what anxiety is to you?
Well, this is obviously specifically to me. Like, it is so different for every other person. But I don't know, like, I just feel sometimes, like some days are, as I said earlier, I was so much worse than others, and some days like I'm totally fine and I can go to the supermarket and I can do all the essential things, and then there's other days where I'm like, I'm just gonna get my groceries delivered because I can't leave my house today. And it's getting so much better, but I think just I've always been anxious. Like, it's just, I remember being dropped off to primary school and I'd have like butterflies like in primary school, going into school, and I'd be like shaky as like a kid. Like, it's just crazy. And then as I just thought it was normal, and then as I've gotten older and it's just sort of gotten worse, I'm like, oh, there's an issue here that I need to address. So yeah, I don't know, like for me, as I said, some days are worse than others. It kind of just takes over, and it's hard to breathe, and I'm jittery and I get dizzy, and it's just, yeah.
Is it spurred on by events only in your imagination?
I think so. You get caught up in your thoughts and you think, what is this person thinking? What if this happens? And it's really overwhelming. Like, even like if I'm going for a walk and I see someone, and then my head goes, what if this happens? What if they, and you sort of think worst case scenario, and you have to ground yourself and be like, it's okay. We're just going for a walk. They're just going for a walk too. Like, we're just doing our own thing. But then also I think like, some of the stuff I've been through as well brings it on too. Yeah.
What have you put in place to help you cope with it?
As I said before, just getting up earlier and starting my day right. Otherwise, like, I'd literally be waking up, going to work, coming home late, going to bed, sleeping in, going to work. So I literally, get up quite early so that my morning's not rushed and I'm not flustered. So I've got that time to just wake up nice, sit and enjoy my coffee, do some meditation to start my day the right way, just ground myself, set some daily affirmations to work towards, and make sure I work out in the mornings. You can always tell if I don't work out.
That's okay.
If I don't work out, it's like that morning coffee. You can tell if someone hasn't had their morning coffee. If I haven't had a workout, you'll walk into the gym and you'll be like, oh, she hasn't had a workout. I'm not all happy and bubbly. So I make sure I work out, just get my body moving, get those endorphins flowing, and that like just really perks me up for the day. I just do little things to look after myself, like making sure I have breakfast, making sure, I don't know, I've got an extra 10 or 15 minutes so that when I'm doing my hair and makeup, I can pump some music and I can dance around it to Tash Sultana and feel good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just make my mornings fun. I'm my own best friend, and just enjoy being who I am.
I had my fair share of anxiety when I was younger than 21.
Mm-hmm.
I could never speak to a girl.
Really?
I couldn't handle it. It was just like in my head, it was like, it was an imagination, it's going to be awkward, I'm going to make a fool of myself, etc., etc. When I feel like that definitely shifted, I still get anxious now, but nowhere near how I was when I was a kid, was when I got a job in the fitness industry.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it saved me because I was an anxious kid, but when I worked at Snap and I had to put on this red shirt, and when I put on this red shirt, it made me feel like a superhero, because my job then was to talk to people and learn about their stories. And then it became obvious to me that I was only anxious when I was focusing on myself.
Yeah.
But my job was to learn about the people who were attending the gym,
Mm-hmm.
why they're coming, what they need, how can I help them.
Yeah.
And it shifted me from the focus being on me in those situations to my focus being on them.
Yeah.
And I never had trouble speaking to one ever again.
Absolutely. I can see that because, I've, since starting in the fitness industry, my self-confidence has grown and I mean, my anxiety is still there, but as I said, it's getting better. Some days are worse than others. But that growth and that confidence and your people skills and ability to talk to them, it definitely grows. And I think as well, as people who work in the fitness industry, it's our job to help these people and to listen and to look after them and to guide them into what's going to help them. If you're shy and anxious and you sort of put your wall up, we're doing them a disjustice. We need to help them. We need to come out of our comfort zone because, it's not about us anymore. It's about them and what they need. So, I see that, absolutely.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your business that is incorporated with the foyer?
Yeah, cool. So when I was doing my certificate in developing independence through the foyer, one of our activities was, if there was anything in the world that you could do and anywhere you could end up without limitations of, financial factors, all that kind of thing, what would it be? And I don't know, I just let my imagination and my creative juices just flow, and I was like, I want to have a gym, but with a twist, because obviously I'm so passionate about, there's health and fitness, and everyone thinks to be healthy, you need to be fit. So if you've got a 6-pack and you're training at the gym 24/7, you're healthy. When really, fitness is just a small component of health. It's your body image, it's your self-esteem, it's the people you hang around, it's nutrition, but also your relationship with nutrition and how you can eat food, and it's your relationship with exercise, and it's your sleep, as we touched on. There's so many things. So I really feel like, and your mindset as well. So I feel like we need to address all these other factors for someone to be successful with their fitness as well. You've got 3 types of people who come to a gym, and majority, so the 2 out of the 3, they've got a really poor mindset. So you've got someone who will come to the gym and they will just be motivated, but they'll start flogging themselves, right? So overtraining, under-eating, not looking after their body at all. And then you've got another person with a poor mindset. They might be keen to get started, but then they're coming into a place filled with mirrors and they're talking down to themselves and they're thinking they're not good enough, they've got low self-esteem, poor body image, and they end up talking themselves out of coming because they solely believe they're not good enough. And then you've got the person that's got the good mindset and it's balanced. So I just want to fix that. I want to fix that cycle. I want to fix the mindset and help coach people and mentor them that we are so much more than just what we look like. We are a living being that needs to be looked after. We need, to have sleep, good social connections, or like all these things that I touched on. So I planned it all out. It was just like a plan. It was just a task for my course, and I called it Value, but spelled like VALYOU because it's about valuing you as who you are and your entire being. I just kind of forgot about it because it was just for my course. And I went on, started working in the fitness industry, that kind of thing. And I never really believed in myself. Like, I've been this anxious person that's struggled with my own well-being and health and body image and all of that. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then I come back to Shep after, a pretty toxic 5-year relationship. And then what I've gone through at home. And I've literally just had to rebuild myself. And all I thought was, yep, I'm going to go to uni. I'm going to move away from Shep. I'm never going to come back here. And then I come back and I was like, oh, I'm a failure. And like, I ended up in this really dark place and I had to pull myself out real quick. And I'm really lucky that I had some really good people around me. My friend Christy, she's like, I say all the time, she's like my guardian angel. Like, she's just always in my corner, my personal cheerleader. Like, she pushes me. And I don't know, we're just going for a hike out Mansfield and I just was talking about value. Like, it just came back to me again. I forgot about it and I was telling her and she was like, you can do that. Like, that doesn't just have to be an idea. And she really encouraged me. And so it's always been, it came back to me and it's always just been on my mind. And I just slowly started stepping into what I believe in and just using like my social media to put out some positivity. Because I guess you being 21, growing up with all this social media and your fitness influencers and your Instagram models and, to be fit, you have to have a 6-pack and you have to look like this and fitness and health looks like this and all of that, that stigma. I was like, nah, I'm going to just start, posting some things that are a little bit different, and just maybe taking it back to basics and thinking, hey, we're a living, breathing thing. Our body internally is doing all this cool stuff without us even knowing. Our heart doesn't stop beating, even when we're sleeping. Do you know what I mean? We've got white blood cells in our body, like fighting off infections. Like, our body is like such a cool thing. It is so much more than just how we look, I just started posting more stuff like that on my socials, and my personal growth just started, thriving, being in the fitness industry again, focusing on other people, I rebuilt myself. And then the foyer reached out to me and they're like, look at you. Look at what you've done. Look at who you've become from when you were homeless and you came in here and you were, so lost. They're like, we want you to come on and start mentoring and coaching these young students who were once where you were so that they can see they can do what you're doing or end up to where they want to be. And that was just like, wow, I can make value work. Like, yeah. I actually can help people. Like, I want you. Like, I can do this. So, yeah.
Did anyone believe in you before you believed in yourself? Just Christy?
My mum's always been awesome. Like, she's always been like, you can do anything you set your mind to. And I'm sure there's people who have believed in me. But when you don't believe in yourself, you don't see that. You don't see the good. You're just stuck in this dark hole. Like, you don't see anything. You know what I mean? It's just all that negative energy. So, yeah, like, I was finding myself. And Christy, she helped me believe that I have the skills and the powers in my hands to turn my life around. Like, no one's going to do it for you. Like, you have to take those steps. So Christy, I think, has probably been the biggest support. Like, she fills my cup up. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's always there. And She's always believing in me. And when I'm around her, like, again, I just really am so big on energies, but she's the same. She's always positive. She's always happy. So when I'm around her, I'm always positive. I'm always happy. We bounce off each other. And I just want to be the best version of myself when I'm with her. So I don't know, like, we ended up living together and we're like best friends. So I think that's been like a really big eye-opener, just being around her.
How do you think you'll cope when you are dealing with these kids that are in a hole and their energies aren't positive?
Good question. I think just showing them that, hey, like, I've been there too.
Yeah.
I know not exactly how they're feeling because everyone feels so different. And I mean, there's still days where I struggle to get out of bed and I've got that negative energy. Do you know what I mean? But the workshop I've planned, it kicks off in February and it goes for 3 months. So I'm doing a workshop, which is all, you know, like kind of what we're doing, like a sit-down chat. It's really educational and we're just going to chit-chat and I'm going to get to know them. It's not clinical at all. Like, it's just a chat. I'm here as a coach, as a friend, as a mentor, and I want to hear their stories. And then I've got an activity relevant to the workshop. So it's not just me talking and giving them information. It's like, okay, let's implement these skills. Yeah. So, you know, even there's 6 different ones. So like, we're going to do some stuff on sleep, some on exercise, some on nutrition, personal presentation, you know, how you look versus how you feel, those kind of things. And for that, the personal presentation one and your body image, like, one activity is every time you cross the mirror, every time you're getting ready, what's something you like about yourself? Could even just be your shirt, but you're not leaving that mirror until you find something you like about yourself and you're going to say it out loud. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's not going to fix someone overnight, but hopefully over these 3 months they can learn some skills that I've learnt the hard way, so it's a little bit easier for them, so that slowly that negative energy isn't always, it's not like 80-20 or 90-10, it's the other way around.
Yeah. I love it.
Thanks.
I think people need to have a look at themselves more often and like know what they're good at, or like just reaffirm to themselves that they have things that they love about themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think you can name 5 things you love about yourself right now?
Oh my God. Okay. I love my energy. I feel like, as you touched on before, positive, and I'm always happy. I love that about myself. It's contagious. And I know when I walk into a room and I'm like, hey guys, bam, there's a smile. Oh, hey, do you know what I mean? It bounces. So I love my energy. I love my eyes. I got them from my mum, so that's just, a personal thing. 5, Harley, that's a lot. I love my skin, which is really interesting. I got bullied a lot. I had cystic acne, and growing up and going through school with like really bad skin, like that was one thing that really brought my my body image and my self-worth down. I was so hard on myself, and I've shared some before and afters and things like that on my Instagram, just again to normalize it and put out, like, this is normal, this is okay. I'm not any less beautiful or less of a person because I've got acne, and I've still got some pimples, but I love my skin because it's me and it protects my organs, and it's just me.
Yeah.
And all this years, like, I started having like pimples when I was 8, and I still had acne when I was 18. So like 10 years of hating my skin, like, it's crazy. And then I just love, this isn't as physical, you can't see it, but I love like my heart and my lungs and my blood and my brain and like all the stuff inside me that's keeping me alive, because I love life, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't have functioning organs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like so, a quality of yours would be gratitude.
Gratitude, yes.
Like, that would be one thing that you love about yourself, how gracious you are.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know if that's 5 things, I lost count, but...
You owe me one more.
One more.
Well, it sounds like you're a good friend. with you and Christy?
Yeah, I'd say I'm a good friend, loyal. I just love to care and look after people, and I just want the best for people, whether they're my friend or whether it's someone coming into my gym to start their journey or whether it's these kids at the foyer. I just want what's best for them. So
we've been circling this topic for most of the talk, but can you speak on being a local advocate for positive body image? Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Again, there's just so much more to health and fitness, and there's so much more to us as people than how we look. Again, just the fact that we're breathing and the fact that, you know, we're living and our body's doing all this stuff to look after us. Like, we have to look after our body. And everyone loves the quote and they throw it around all the time. If you had one car for the rest of your life, you'd look after it. You'd service it, you'd maintain it, you'd fuel it up. All right, well, we've got one home for the rest of our life. Why aren't we looking after it?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't we fueling it? Why, with, like, good nutrition? I mean, I'll admit I love a sneaky KFC feed every now and then. But, like, why aren't we fueling it with good food? Why are we restricting so much and putting our bodies under stress? And why are we overtraining? And why are we always talking down to ourselves? Like, why aren't we being our own best friend? And, yeah, I just really want to turn that around and shed that perspective. Like, I can still be humble and love who I am. And so can everyone else. Like, I'm not stuck up. I'm not up myself. Like, you can still love you and love who you are and love your body. And there's not, like, a one-size-fits-all.
What do you think the indicators are for somebody to know that they've got that balance right? So let's say somebody loves a sneaky KFC, but it's pushing them towards obesity. Like, obviously, that's not what we want.
No, absolutely not. So I think it comes back to the health component. So, yeah, I love KFC, but I don't have it every day. It's balanced and it's in moderation, and I think of my health. So obviously that is not super great for my health.
No, don't get me wrong. I love.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a good balanced diet. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna not eat pizza.
Yeah.
I fucking love pizza. Do you know what I mean? I don't want food to be stolen away from me. But I'm just interested to know like when is enough? Like, and you say health. So are we talking about as long as your blood pressure's okay? As long as your waist measurement's under 100 centimeters? Is that what you mean? Like, practical
pretty much
things, or
it's so much more as well. So, like, there would be a time where I'd have KFC, and then I'd go to the gym like twice a day, do my cardio, do my weights, and, you know, and then I wouldn't eat, or I'd start eating in a calorie deficit to make up for that. And my relationship with food wasn't good, and I know so many young girls particularly. I mean, everyone can struggle with it, but I know a lot of young girls particularly struggle with their relationship with food. So, yeah, that's one thing. And then, how you're viewing your body. Like, are you eating that food because it's a comfort and you're struggling mentally? Like, it's a self-awareness as well. Like, why are you eating it? Yeah, I haven't had it for a while, and I was driving past and I was really craving some chips. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm listening to my body, but it's like, I'm not, if you are in a headspace where you don't think you are worth something, and it's like, yeah, fine, I'll just eat that food. Like, what's the point of eating veggies? I don't need to fuel my body. My body is worthless. I'm nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things. So it's your mindset and where you are. But, you know, if it's balanced and you're going, okay, yeah, I might have that. And that's fine. And I can go, yeah, I had that. I'm not going to have it for a while. But it's fine. But then if you get people that are like, yeah, I'll eat that, and then they won't eat for like 24 hours, or they will start restricting. So it's finding that balance. So you really have to be self-aware. And again, if you're pushing yourself to obesity, it's like, okay, maybe I'll have it every now and then, but I need to start looking after myself too, and fueling my body with good foods and exercising it and creating that balance. And I touched on earlier with Maddie, my friend, not everyone wants to be a bikini competitor, or not everyone wants to be ripped up with a six-pack. Health is something that's different to everyone. Some people just go to the gym because it helps them get out of bed in the mornings. And some people might want to have KFC a little bit more than other people. And it doesn't... Health and body image, like, it's different for everyone. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it just depends. You just have to be self-aware and, I guess, have that respect for your body and that love for yourself, that you will look after it regardless of what your goals are. So, I know I kind of rambled a little bit. But.
No, I think you answered it well. So I've been working in gyms for 10 years now, and I see a lot of people come in and they train consistently, but their bodies don't really change at all. And they think they're coming to the gym to get results, but really they're coming to the gym to feel good about themselves, but they don't realise that's why they're really coming. They think they're coming for the results, but they keep on coming because of how they feel.
Absolutely.
When they've done those workouts. But a lot of people, I don't think, even realise that.
Yeah.
How do you think it's perceived, body image? Like, it seems to be a hot topic at the moment. Like, a lot of people... a lot of people are either all for it or all against it, but you can elaborate on how you feel about that. And
Coming from the fitness industry, I absolutely see what you're talking about. So I think some of us are still stuck in that mind frame where it's like, you know, your bikini competitors and your six-pack and health and fitness, and if there's a slightly bigger person happy in their own skin, that's promoting obesity and that's promoting all these health issues and that kind of thing. But again, it just comes back to your goals. Not everyone wants to be a bikini competitor, and that's not necessarily healthy, you know, restricting that much, training that much, putting that much stress on the body. But again, if that's your goal and that's your value and that's important to you, cool, just go about it the right way. And you know what, if there is a slightly bigger person and they're training regularly, they're eating okay, they don't want to lose 20 kilos, but they're feeling comfortable in the skin they're in, cool. I'm fit and I'm healthy, but I'm not a stick. And there'll be people who'll go, oh, she works at a gym, but, you know, she's just a normal size. Like, she's not a stick. She doesn't have abs. Well, I'm still fit and healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not just a one-size-fits-all. And you don't know that person. And we all feel differently and we all have different perspectives. So I really feel like for someone to come down on other people because they're happy, oh, like, come on. Like, if they're happy, let's celebrate that. And, yeah, like, I love it. I love seeing that certain companies with their clothes, like, they're catering for bigger, like, activewear companies, they've got the diversity and they're showcasing bigger people in clothes and, like, gym clothes and that kind of thing. And people arc up about it and go, but that's not health and that's not fitness and they're not a size 6 or that kind of thing. But I mean, they're on their journey too. And I've had even just people coming into the gym, like, there's a few people, I won't say any names, but there's this one girl and it took her a few weeks to get into the gym. And we were talking for a while on my personal Instagram, and I hadn't met her, but we were just talking and getting to know each other, and I was getting to know her story before she even felt comfortable to step foot into the gym, because she's a bigger girl. And she does want to make the change to become a healthier, happier her, and that's amazing. But I feel like the fitness industry, like, we've done a disjustice to these people, that we've made them feel like they're not good enough because they're not a size 6.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to take a step towards her health and fitness, but it took her almost a month to walk through the doors because she's scared of what people will think of her, that she's going to be the bigger girl in the gym. Like,
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just not on.
Do you just think I've lost the word, but the things that the fitness industry project onto us, the general public, are just too extreme? Like, do you think if the fitness industry was more aimed at, not you have to be a size 6, but like you can be anywhere between these healthy ranges,
yeah,
it would be better?
I think so, because like you said, there's your healthy ranges. I feel like with Instagram and then your websites like bodybuilding.com and all of that, we're really focused on athletes and competitors, and that's the face of fitness, and that's what health and fitness looks like at the moment, and it's not a true reflection of what it really is.
Yeah. No, great. Do you want to share any stories where what you've been promoting has affected somebody's life?
Yes, I would love to. So there's this one lady who came to my gym, and obviously with what I've touched on, mindset and how you're feeling within yourself is such a big thing. So what I do with my clients is we do a bit of goal setting before we get into their programs, because I want to know why they're here, what's their why, what's the emotional thing behind it all, like why do they want to achieve these goals, and what's their mindset like. Like as I said, they might start off motivated, but if they fall off the bandwagon because their mindset's not right, I'm doing a disjustice to them. Like, I need to help this person. So we do a bit of goal setting. And I asked this question to a mum of 4. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your body image at and where's your self-esteem at? How do you feel within yourself? And she said a 2. She's raised 4 little humans inside of her. She's built 4 living things. Like, come on, you're amazing. But she feels a 2 out of 10. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It just brings it back. Like, she's got lungs, she's got a heart, they're breathing, and she's been able to make 4 little people that have hearts and lungs and they're breathing. And like, we're just so much more than how we look.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, it's crazy.
How did she feel when you summarised it for her?
She smiled.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, like that's...
People don't realise how amazing they are.
Yeah, definitely. They don't. And I think it's good to have that little reminder. And I've had so many people, like, I might piss a few people off because I'm like a regular Instagram sharer. I'm like constant sharing. But I get a lot of people come back that are happy. So I think that outweighs that little negativity, that little group. But there's a lot of girls in particular who react to my Instagram stories and are like, I needed that reminder. That's made my day. Oh, that's so true. I've never thought of that perspective. Thank you for sharing this. So just, putting out those constant reminders, that constant positivity that, hey, everybody's a bikini body. You're breathing. Your body's doing this. Don't forget, like, just those little reminders, like, it is so important. So yeah, everyone needs a reminder. Yeah,
you need to hear things often.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's like a lot of the lessons like that I take from Instagram. They're things that I already know, but they need to be brought back to the forefront of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So those girls would really appreciate you sharing those things because, like they shift back. They shift back. Then you realise, I haven't been treating myself very well.
Yeah.
And it's your post that reminded them that they have to take a little bit of time for themselves.
Yeah. And that's crazy for me to like have those people say that. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm just doing a little thing to remind them. And it's to remind myself as well. Like, I post stuff and I go, yeah, I'm posting that because it's reminding me and I'm connecting to that. And I'm like, yeah, I needed that. And as I said, like, I get up earlier in the morning, so I make sure I do a few in the morning. So many of us here, we wake up, first thing we do is check our phone. If they see that when they check their phone, first thing, a nice reminder, a nice affirmation or something, boom, sets their day up right, and that's a step in the right direction. And it just sort of breaks that not so great cycle that we do have on Instagram and our social medias and things.
Probably 5 years ago, maybe, I went through my Instagram and unliked all the bodybuilders that I followed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still follow female fitness influencers?
I do, but I've definitely changed the sort of influencers that I've been following. And in the workshop that I'm doing, one of them's social media as well with the foyer. So that's one of my tasks I'm going to set them to go through. And if you don't connect with something or it doesn't bring you a happy or good energy, unfollow that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I've definitely changed. In high school, I would follow girls that were just chicken, rice and broccoli every day and go to the gym every day. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that if that aligns with you. But it was just really unrealistic, and it was very much, I started not feeling good enough because I didn't look a certain way. And, I would have KFC, or Mum would serve something up for dinner, and I would hate myself for eating something. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, that's not a healthy habit. That's not good. That's not ideal. And so definitely the people I start following now, they're more in line with body positivity and more intuitive eating, and that's just what works for me. So, yeah.
Great. What are some of your goals moving forward outside of Val You Health?
Outside of Val You Health?
Yeah.
So personal stuff.
Very nice.
Well, honestly, like, my biggest goal is really value at the moment. So outside of that, it's just continuing my growth. At the moment, I've been doing, walking by myself, which is such a big thing with my anxiety. So again, I just want to continue to become a happier, healthier person with good body image and self-esteem, and just be happy and confident within myself. And yeah, just continue this message. Some days are so much harder than others, and I just want them to slowly get easier, and to just always be the best version of myself, and just continue to help people and have my energy be contagious. So that's really just my goal. Our life is short, and I just want to enjoy it while I'm here.
Have they been getting easier?
Yeah, it has been, definitely, especially when I consider where I was 5 years ago, or in high school as well. It's just, I don't even feel like the same person.
Yeah. Last question, Brea.
Mm-hmm.
Who locally inspires you?
Can I say two?
You can say as many as you like.
Okay. Well, Christy has definitely inspired me. As I said, when I'm with her, I just want to be the best version of myself. So having a friend like that, or a guardian angel, as I say, has really shaped who I am. And she always just pushes me and makes me believe in myself. And she's so successful with everything she does. Like, she's so independent. She relies on no one, and she's got a successful business, but she's also a good person with a good heart, and she puts that positive energy out there. And again, her energy is contagious, and she makes people smile and realize their worth. And yeah, I just want to be like her. And then also the students, not just at the foyer, but any sort of residential care, even if they're not where they want to be on their journey, or they're not in the right place, they're an inspiration to me because of their strength. And I know that over time, as they learn what I've had to learn being in their position, they can make something of themselves. So their strength is inspiring to me. And I think when someone has a problem or an issue, or it's not ideal, everyone in our community turns their back on them. For instance, like, if you think of a drug user, we sort of turn their back on them. Like, we don't want to associate with those sort of people, or people who come from broken families, or they're lost, or they're troubled, or they're rebelling and they're creating an issue in our community. We need to stop turning our backs on them. We need to help them so that they can turn around and we can keep making the community a better place. So yeah, those people who have turned around, or they're on their process of turning their life around, their strength inspires me as well.
Awesome, Brea. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.